My name is William Capers, and on this Veterans Day, I have the privilege and the honor of recognizing all of our nation's veterans. Whether you served in Afghanistan or Vietnam, you're still a member of an unbroken chain of men and women who have served this country with honor and distinction. So on behalf of this great nation, we thank you, and I thank you. Have an awesome Veterans Day.
Good morning, my name is Richard Miner. My hometown is in a small town north of Buffalo, New York.
My name is William Capers, and I'm from Whiteville, North Carolina.
My name is Owen Martin, and I am from Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Philadelphia.
My name is Kelly Green. I'm from San Francisco, California.
My name is Sergeant Holmes, and my hometown is Newport News, Virginia.
My name is Mr. Weideman, and I was born in Midland, Texas.
My name is John Byron, and my hometown is Lynchburg, Virginia.
Patrick Moore, Pecoston, Virginia.
My name's Melissa Von Pox, and I'm from Aurora, Colorado.
The main reason I joined the service was to learn an occupation and do as much traveling as possible.
I didn't know where I was headed after high school. I was kind of a lost soul, and I needed to figure out a place for me and a journey that I could kind of begin. So the military offered me that journey and kind of gave me the push in the right direction.
My reason for joining the service is just to do something that nobody else in my family has done.
I wanted to travel and to see the world, and that seemed like a good way to do it.
I just knew that there was going to come a point in my life where I wanted to say to myself, well, I did something kind of extreme.
I joined the service because I didn't have a real solid family structure. My youth was difficult at times. So the military offered a lot of opportunities to me, such as truck driving, leadership skills, survival, and of course being able to travel.
I joined the United States Marine Corps because I wanted an opportunity to serve my country, and I also wanted an opportunity to one day become a teacher and a football coach, and I knew that I needed a college degree in order to make that happen, and I knew that the military could help pay for my schooling.
I joined the service. I wanted to have a steady job. At the time, I was working different jobs, and I wanted to serve my country and also receive an education.
My father was an enlisted man, my uncles were all enlisted, and I wanted to be a part of that memory. I wanted to be a part of something that will go on forever.
My basic training was in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, both for basic training and my advanced individual training.
My basic training was in Beaufort, South Carolina, known as Parris Island.
My basic training took place in Parris Island, South Carolina.
Basic was down in San Antonio, Texas. It was in the heat of Texas. It was extremely warm.
My basic training was actually in San Diego, California.
I conducted my basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. And as a running joke, my friends and I, we call it the home for wayward boys.
My basic training was Officer Candidate School in Quantico, Virginia.
Basic training was held at Fort Knox, Kentucky. I went during the summertime, so it was drastically hot. Let me tell you, Kentucky can get really, really hot. Basic training was pretty involved, challenging.
It is intense, it is grueling.
It was a lot harder than Navy basic training was supposed to be.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say it was exactly like what you saw in Full Metal Jacket, but not really all that far from it.
It was a shock to me. It came as a big surprise that I lacked discipline, but gained a great amount of discipline, which is very much needed in the military.
It was an amazing opportunity, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but also the most rewarding thing that I've ever done as well.
It really at first was very intimidating, but by the end I realized that there was a camaraderie that you began to build, and you start to see where everybody's place is, who takes on what roles, and it really became a very interesting journey to be on.
Basic training also pushed me to limits that I was unaware of. So it helped me to grow as a person, both physically, not just physically, but also mentally.
I grew up in a time where we still had the Cold War effects going on, so we learned about, hence Russia and all this, what are we prepared for, knowing our enemy.
I got to do things that I never thought I would do. I mean, here it is, I'm a country boy from North Carolina, and the first airplane that I ever jumped out of was on the Army's dime. So I got an opportunity to do a lot of training. I got an opportunity to meet a lot of people that will forever be a part of my life. Leadership to me, if you want a textbook answer, would be the ability to influence an individual to accomplish a mission by providing purpose, direction, and motivation.
I think I try to put leadership in one word: trust.
You have to be sincere, you have to be genuine. It doesn't guarantee that you will be a good leader, but you cannot be a good leader unless you have that characteristic.
I believe a good leader is somebody who leads by example. You have to be able to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. You can't just bark out orders and not be willing to go along and do the job as well.
To lead a couple people or 100 people, the leadership skills that you're taught are the same.
With good leadership, morale was always high. Our missions always were able to go off easier. We were able to accomplish goals a lot easier.
So understanding what everybody else brings to the table makes a better situation for not only you, but everybody else around you.
When you're in a certain rank, there are a certain number of people that are underneath you, and it's your responsibility to make sure that those people are well trained, because when the time comes, should you have to go to combat, those lives are in your hands.
Great leadership example that I've experienced was my Sergeant Major preparing us to go on a deployment to Afghanistan after 9/11. Our unit was, we were nervous. It was attack against America, and he really brought us all together and emphasized the teamwork and dependence on one another to prepare for the mission.
The bottom line is the military will teach you the leadership skills that you need, or they will bring out the skills that you already have.
Responsibility is a key component in the military. Not only are you responsible for yourself, but you're also responsible for those that you're in charge of.
Commitment is seeing something through. So it was really important, not that you fail, but how you respond to failure, because you're going to fail. So are you going to get up? Are you going to try again?
Responsibility in the military is taught day one.
Not only should you be responsible for yourself, but responsible for other people and their actions.
Even the most basic private always exhibited a tremendous amount of responsibility.
Every day we have to make sure that we're doing our absolute best, because your life is on the line.
What they teach you there is not only to have commitment at that time of training, but it filters throughout your life.
It really made me think about where I wanted to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, set goals for myself, and it taught me to kind of think about all the things in between that would help me to get to that goal.
Joining the military, whether it be a 3, 4, 5 year commitment, is a big deal. Whether you have future plans to go into college or not, you're making a commitment to first protect this country, to serve in the world's best military force, and it allows you to find who you are and where you're at in your life skills.
After the military, I actually went into banking for about 10 years. At this point, I still had no formal education in terms of college, and I got to a point in that career that I had kind of plateaued. And I had always had a love for mathematics, so I decided that for me to be able to give that back to other individuals, to give them that love in math, the best way for me to do that was to get into education. So I went back to college after many years of being away and decided to start my third career, which is a math teacher here at Lafayette.
I actually became a police officer. I was a police officer for 3 years. At that time, I decided to get back for my master's degree because I was interested in being a school counselor. The GI Bill, which I signed up for when I went into the military, was applied throughout the remainder of my undergraduate program, and it actually paid well into my master's program also. So I definitely, appreciated that from, as a reward for being a veteran and being in the military.
I chose my current path just so I can come back home and talk to some of the people from this area.
Well, I went into the military not out of high school, but after working for a couple of years. And after leaving the military, I wanted to still have a positive impact on kids, on young people, and to continue to be a mentor. So I went into teaching through the Troops to Teachers program. And that's a unique program offered for military members to have a mentor and to be able to get licensed and certified and get the coursework done to be able to be a teacher in the public schools.
Being here in the position of a security officer, it allows me to interact with the students, also to make a difference in their lives.
I chose a career path that I'm in now basically because I've always liked to do projects or work with the community, especially the youth.
While I was in the military, I was also attending school to become a teacher and to become a football coach. And the life lessons that I learned from the military and the education that I got has sort of molded me into the person that I am today.
And we have to understand that as leaders, as coaches, as teachers, as mentors, we have an obligation to lead our young people in the right direction.
If you really believe that the military is a calling for you, go for it. It is one of the best places for you to find out who you are.
Sometimes you're not always gifted those opportunities like some folks are. College may not be your thing. You may just want to be one to get out there and start work or learn a good trade. Military is a great foundation for someone to get a good start in life and a good career to retire from.
My advice to any young man or woman who wants to join the military is give it your 100% attention.
I would highly advise you to thoroughly research the branches of the military that you're considering going into.
Where do you want to end up in 3 to 6 to 8 or even 20 years from now? That is the question you have to ask yourself.
What I'd advise everyone to do is actually just go in and talk to a recruiter.
Talk to each of the individual recruiters. Don't pick one. Go and talk to each and every one. Ask them direct questions.
Try to communicate as much as you can what your expectations are, what you would like to do, and then those recruiters can talk to you to help you make a better decision.
If you want to know if you're in the Navy or you're going to be stuck on a submarine, ask them that question. Don't be afraid. If you're going to join the Air Force and you're going to be guarding airplanes, ask them, well, what exactly do these guys do?
Speak to veterans and current military members, if you have that option, to see the differences in being an enlisted person versus an officer.
Be specific. Do a little bit of research. You've got the best tool going now with the internet. All of the information about these services is available to you on the internet.
I think that if you want to go to college, you can go to college. If you want to accomplish anything in your life, the military gives you that mindset, that mind frame, that you can accomplish anything you want, you can be anything that you want. You will end up with a never say die attitude, and you will accomplish those things in your life.
And there is a brotherhood, and you always will have somebody watching over you and having your back on everything you do when you do decide to go into the military. And it's a place that makes you feel like you belong.
The military is an outstanding place to start. It's also an outstanding place to continue if you want to make it a career.
I served in the military during the time of September 11th, And when I came back after serving about a year in Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom, I had felt a whole new meaning and pride in my country, especially July 4th. And so it's really meaning for me to be a patriot and to really be thankful for everything that we have in America and our freedom.